Hello. Okay. It is the start of a new week, so I switched to a different stream to listen to for us with music in it. Also, you may have noticed my avatar has appeared at the top of the screen. It's cool. We're good. So anyway, this is Lifeseeker 128, and I am playing Fallout: A Tale of Two Wastelands with Rebuild the Capital mod, of which I am going through the Free Research Academy, and I just made it to the Order of the Quill, the last of the orders that I have yet to visit. So we're doing it. We're doing it. And it is being done. In theory. In theory, being done. So I did do a little preliminary investigation of the area, and it's not entirely well, it's pretty small as far as I could see. Also, the music is a little loud. Different station, different sound balance, different everything. So anyway. So yeah. Her upper floors? I don't remember there being upper floors. Let's wait for everybody to wake the hell up. Because my character is a night owl and doesn't give a shit. It's Journeyman Khan. Journeyman Khan at your service. Field Marshal. Hold on. I'm doing this to get the dialogue out from under the frickin' console, because this is the only way I've found to pause the dialogue fading away before I've read it all. And I've got apple chips. I manage the digital archives here at the Academy, so please let me know if you need help accessing a file. What files are stored? For the most part, I've been digitizing most of the Brotherhood of Steel's physical archives. Holotag records, maps, scribe research reports, transcripts of the Elder Lion sermons, that sort of thing. I also have some Enclave files recovered from Raven Rock, although I don't know what they contain as they are encrypted. Hold up. I think those are sounds from the stream I am listening to on the side. They're not from me. Well, shit. Well, that makes things weird. Well, anyway. If you are interested, you can try your hand at decoding them. What do you think is on the files? It's anybody's guess, really. Enclave were rather stringent about encrypting their files. Files could contain top-secret Enclave research or just vertibird maintenance logs. Either way, couldn't hurt to decrypt the files and find out. Okay. Great. I appreciate your help, Field Marshal. You can find the files stored on the terminal located in the digital archives. There are 5 files in total, each encrypted in a different manner. Once you are finished, you can let me know. I'm looking for the the bypass codes to the security system you installed on the Free Sisters terminal. Oh, Christ. I knew this would happen as soon as I got involved with those sisters. Scribe Vree, the younger, asked me to install extra security software onto her terminal. Then her sister, Scribe Vree, the elder, asked me to install the same software onto her terminal. I was worried they'd start going at each other over the software, and then I'd have their mother, Senior Scribe Vree, start breathing down my neck. So I gave Knight Captain Vree, who heads security, the holodisk with the software's bypass codes to keep me out of the eventual mess. Fuck me. How many women are here that have last name Vree? Jesus. Sorry about it? Yes, so you should go bother her about this and leave me out of it. What is your work entail? I manage the digital Well, at least the files are stored here at the Academy. Some of my work involves digitizing some of the physical copies of the Brotherhood's expansive library. Proctor Jameson approves of the idea, but Scribe Salt certainly does not. He runs a library here at the Academy. He can't outright refuse an order from the Proctor, but he is very hesitant to leave me, or to let me have one of his precious books. Thankfully, I can rely on Scribe Yearling to send me a supply of books from Arlington Library. I know scanning book pages into a terminal might not be the most exciting work, but I hope it will earn me my scribe robes. Do you work for anyone here? No, I'm no longer an apprentice, so I don't have to work under any scribe. I'm working on my journeyman project that I will submit to Proctor Jameson. When I apply to become a full-fledged scribe of the Quill. That being said, as manager of the digital archives, I do sometimes work with the other archivists, Scribe Salt and Scribe Pears. Pears? Pears? I don't know. Hold on. Where was I? I was talking to my mom. Hold on. That being said, as manager of the Scribe Salt and Scribe Pears. Although that is rare, they are protective of their books and manuscripts. Not that I blame them. They have texts that are centuries old. I just wish they understood that digitizing those texts would allow them to survive another couple centuries. Does your archive only contain files from the Brotherhood? For the most part, the digital archive is mainly composed of Brotherhood records. I've been working on adding more diversity to the archive by going through terminals that have been salvaged from the wasteland. I've got a large amount of Enclave files recovered from the terminals found at Raven Rock and Castle Lions. I've also got a collection of pre-war files taken from terminals, both civilian and military. Things like digital diaries, business agreements, blueprints. I found snack recipes from Mama Dulce's terminals and maps of American military bases, also found on Mama Dulce's terminals for some reason. Yeah, most of the stuff is boring, I'll admit, but occasionally I find something interesting to read. Yeah, Mama Dulce's was a spy operation by the Chinese. Do with that what you will. Safe travels. Okay. Okay. Did it work out? What could possibly go wrong? It's Morse code. Yeah, we could solve this now. Morse code. Alphabet. We can do it the hard way. Oh, wow. Okay. So, no, we're not. We're not. We're just not. We are just going to look at the alphabet, please. Thank you. Let's see. Dot dash dot dot is... L? That one. And then it's dot dot, which is I. And then it's dash dot dot dot, which is B. Is it liberty? I think it may be liberty. Does it end in Y? Dash dot dash dash. Yes, it does. Failed. Really? Okay, hold on. Liberty. T. There. Okay. Good God. 2. And that's not me. That's not my stream. That's their stream. Holy shit. I don't even know what that is. Nor do I know what this is. Shit. 4? I have a kitty on my desk. He's having a good time. He's having a good time. Want some of my steak? Take a bite. Alright. So this looks to me like a number substitution cipher, where each letter of the alphabet is encoded to a number. Trying to get my little buddy to eat what I had separated for him, so enjoy. What? You doing okay? You don't want it? So 1 is A. So it begins with A and ends with A. Let's go America. Same number of letters. Five. Valence. Is it just an anagram? So it's Enclave? Oh yeah. Alright. Well, that was interesting. And the other two I'm just at a loss for how to do. I might look it up later. That's a nice slide you're doing, Mr. Combs.
Morning.
Welcome to the offices of the Order of the Quill. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Field Marshal. Please make yourself at home and speak to the scribes. I'm sure they would love to to tell you about their work. Need any help? Of course, there's much work to be done. I'm sure any of the scribes would appreciate a helping hand should you have the time to offer one. Of course. What do you do at the Academy? I technically supervise the work of the scribes from the Order of the Quill and their work here at the Academy. Although I wouldn't call myself a supervisor, I don't really do too much supervising. The scribes don't need it. My days of counseling apprentices are long over. But I still offer advice when I can. Where are scribes from here? I'm having a... Oh, great diversity of subjects are being studied here. It used to be the Order of the Quill mainly focused on archival work. But these days, we have the liberty of researching many different things. For example, you can find Scribe Hornburn studying history, or Scribe Blackwell is doing miraculous work on agriculture. Is a new day for the Order of the Quill. Do you work with the other orders? I have offered to help both the Order of the Sword and Order of the Shield manage their blueprint archives. However, only the Shield took me up on my offer. The Sword refused, which is well within their right, of course. I think it would be better for everyone if the orders collaborated a bit closer, but it is what it is. You don't have to be here for very long to learn how protective scribes can be of their research. What's with all the paintings? Ah, yes, our paintings, along with books, We also have a sizable collection of paintings here at the Academy. The majority of the paintings were recovered by Scribe Stiegel during his expedition to the many art museums that can be found in the DC ruins. It was these expeditions that earned him the nickname the Ivory Scribe, along with much fame, or rather infamy, depending on who you ask. I, for one, am glad that the Brotherhood saved these pieces of art. Still, these paintings hang here at a great cost. Many lives were lost during the expedition to the American Art Gallery. But perhaps it is best not to dwell for too long on these things. Okay. So long. Salt. Pleasure to meet you, Field Marshal. As the Academy's librarian, I help care for the many books that you see displayed here. If you decide to peruse the collection, I ask you handle the books with care. Every book that lines these shelves is over 2 centuries old. You know, I'm probably responsible there being so many books in your library. Yes, I've heard that you have been helping Scribe Yearling collect books. For that, you have my deepest gratitude. With that being said, you might be interested in continuing to aid the Order of the Quill in collecting books. You see, I have contact with scavengers across the wasteland, so that should they... Okay, yeah. Wasteland, so that should they find a book, they know to bring it to me. One of the best scavengers I've worked with is a man by the name of Percy, who has brought me a sizable collection of books, most by the famed pre-war author Aidan Price. However, I am growing suspicious of the books he has been selling me. I suspect they are forgeries. The books are in good condition, almost too good of a condition considering they are centuries old. I think they are copies of the originals. If Percy has the original manuscripts, or perhaps holodisc containing the text, then I must know. I will not have the Order of the Quill taken for fools. We do not collect replicas. I'll look into it. Good, Field Marshal. I'm glad you understand the severity of the situation. Percy is likely using a printing press to make copies of the original manuscripts and then selling antique books to aloof collectors fat with caps. Unfortunately for Percy, I am not some asshole from Tenpenny Tower looking to decorate my apartment. He won't be able to scam me and get away with it. Percy has recently taken up residence at Rivet City and lives on the upper deck. Search his apartment and see if you can find the original texts. Thank you again, Field Marshal. The Order of the Quill appreciates your efforts in upholding integrity. Well, you know me, the paragon of integrity swipes another book from some unsuspecting wastelander. A death claw egg. A gland? Oh my god, I must take. A scorpion. Red scorpion egg? Jeez. Who's gurgling at me? Confused. Oh. I see. Mirelurk, and the hell are those? Just rats? I don't think I've seen rats too much. Scribe Malum. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Scribe Malum, and I head zoological research here at the Academy. Are you collecting any specimens? Oh, I'm always on the lookout for new specimens to study. My research is currently focused on ants and their unique metapleural glands. Should you kill any ants during your time in the wasteland, I would appreciate it if you harvested their metapleural gland and give them to me. I'll be sure to pay you a pretty cap for each one you bring me. I heard you've accepted these kinds of assignments in the past, correct? One thing you should know about the gland is that recent evolution has resulted in it being extremely volatile and poisonous when extracted. Yeah, certainly am. My offer of paying you, blah blah blah. Okay. All kinds of creatures. Mirelurks, radroaches, sometimes a death claw if I am lucky enough to get my hands on one, always dead, of course. I prefer to study specimens while they are alive, but as I am sure you can imagine, that can be difficult. Most creatures in the wastes aren't passive, and are far from domesticated. I've learned to tame a mole rat with mud fruit if it is rotten enough. But most creatures would sooner bite your head off than let you examine them. What is the goal of your research? I'm just trying to understand the ecosystem of wasteland. Ecosystem of the wasteland and how it has evolved since the bombs fell. With all the radiation mutation most living things have endured, these creatures shouldn't be able to breed, much less live. I don't mean to imply that the animals living in the wasteland are thriving. Based on my data, most offspring, especially from mammals, are born with severe mutations and rarely live past a year or even a few months. Animals are struggling to survive just like us humans. Well, except for death claws. They seem to be flourishing in this irradiated world. As dangerous as they are, we are lucky they don't have a higher birth rate. Do you enjoy researching here? Oh, very much so. At the Academy, I have much more room for my research. I doubt those at the Citadel would appreciate me bringing a Mirelurk into my lab. That doesn't... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Because Citadel, very, very not cool people. I'm not a fan of the Citadel, honestly. I mean, it's very, very safe, but not cool enough. Alright, let's see the upper floors. Or upper floor, rather. I am a ghost. Ignore me. Oh, shit. Alright, let's check these out first. Paladin Joiner. And some pre-war books I can't take. Field Marshal, I'm Paladin Joiner. I'm taking a short break from my combat duties to do a bit of reading here at the Academy. Hopefully what I study here can be put to good use developing the Order of Footmen. That makes more sense. That the doesn't need to be there. Do you mind if I ask what you're reading? I'm reading whatever I can get my hands, or at least whatever the scribes will let me take from their library. I've read some of the classic military theories by Clausewitz, Dupik, and, of course, Sun Tzu. I've only heard of one of those. I've also read the memoirs of General Constantine Chase, although there seems to be a fair bit of embellishment in his writings. I am hoping what I study here can be used to turn the Order of Footmen into a professional fighting force. What sort of reforms are you thinking about? Well, along with providing them with better weapons and supplies, it's important we train knights how to lead footmen. Greater integration between the Order of Knights and the Order of Footmen is instrumental in forming a new model army for the Brotherhood. I've already sent several reform proposals to Major Franklin, who is in charge of developing the Order of Footmen. Oddly enough, I haven't heard back from him. Since you are often at Castle Lyons, perhaps you could do me a favor and stop by his office? Major Franklin is a bit long in the tooth, so I want to make sure he hasn't been deleting my messages off his terminal by accident. I can stop by his office and ask him if he has read your proposals. Thank you, Field Marshal. I appreciate you checking in on him. What makes you interested in the Order of Footmen? I am a firm believer in the Codex and the teachings of Elder Maxon. Don't be mistaken. But it has been 200 years since the founding of the Brotherhood of Steel. I don't see anything wrong with forming a modern army. I suppose part of my interest in the footmen and army reform stems from my father. You see, he was an officer with the New California Republic, a country out west that has its own modern army. I'd be lying if I said I didn't take some inspiration from what he taught me about the military. Father wasn't with the Brotherhood? No, but my mother was. She was a paladin with the Brotherhood of Steel. My parents met in California. I don't know much about their relationship, but, well, just that they had a falling out. My mother ended up being stationed at the Brotherhood outpost in San Francisco, but much to her frustration, my father followed. He took a post at the local NCR embassy, so I was able to see him rather often. My mother, of course, didn't approve of these visits. He was a good man, and when my mother volunteered to join the expedition east, I almost stayed behind. I probably would have joined the NCR. But my father convinced me that my mother needed me, so I traveled east along with her. To make a long story short, my mother was lost to disease not long after we crossed the Rockies, and I haven't heard from my father since I left. I think about my parents often. I'm sure my mother would be mortified by my proposed reforms, although my father would be proud. But if I can honor both of them with my work, perhaps that will be good enough. Sort of reform. Back in California, my father told me of how much of the size of the army was maintained by conscription. I honestly think conscription could do the Capital Wasteland a lot of good. Just look at the average wastelander. They're directionless and only think about their day-to-day survival. Service in the Order of Footmen would give them skills, discipline, and a purpose to fight for something greater than themselves. Plus, the Brotherhood would never have to worry about having manpower shortages. But of course, this idea isn't very popular with the Citadel, neither with me, so for now, service in the Order of Footmen remains volunteer only. You enjoying your post? It's not to enjoy. Well, besides the fact that scribes hold a conversation about as well as they hold a Gatling laser, still, I always have Old Man Blackwell to talk with. Blackwell? Who? What? Okay, never mind. We can do this first. See, Hurley. Yes, do you need something? Oh, you must be the Field Marshal. I am Scribe Hurley, Chief Economist here at the Academy. So, if you have any questions about those taxes that make their way into the budget or are interested in seeing more deposited into it, please ask. You help the Brotherhood make money? I try to help increase the funds at the Brotherhood's disposal. Hold on. Which is a large task considering how many caps the Brotherhood needs these days. Taxes just aren't cutting it, especially since no one in the wastelands wanted to pay them. So I think it is time to get a bit more creative. I believe it is time to hold a lottery. You don't happen to be interested in a little fundraising, do you, Field Marshal? How can I help you start? According to files Journeyman Con recovered off an old terminal, the city of Washington bought a shipment of Lotomatics before the Great War. Sounds familiar. Supposedly, they were going to use those lottery vending machines to fundraise for a new metro terminal. But due to the nuclear holocaust, the Lotomatics never arrived. If you can secure those lottery vending machines, I can reappropriate them for Brotherhood use. The only trouble is, I don't know where those damned Lotomatics are. If you can find them and bring me the shipping manifest, I'll request a squad to secure the machines. You mean this shipping manifest? I found it at Warrington Station. Actually, yes, that is it exactly. Wow, this was much easier than I expected. I'm glad you took the time to speak with me today. I will see to it those Lotomatics are secured and sent to various settlements in the wasteland. Can you tell me about your research? I can, but I doubt you'll find it interesting, or maybe you will. I work closely with Scribe Fowler. Perhaps you have met her at Castle Alliance? I have. She sends me data she has gathered regarding taxation and the wasteland economy as a whole. I then have the tedious task of going through all that data and trying to determine how to make the numbers go higher. I don't have a direct role in setting tax rates. Thankfully, I can just stick to research and offering suggestions. What are your thoughts? Well, things are certainly getting better, but then again, we are starting from the ground up when it comes to the economy. With fewer super mutants and more Brotherhood patrols, trade between settlements is up. More trade means more caps in circulation, which means more money in people's pockets, which leads to more trade, and so on, and so on. These good times won't last forever, of course. Eventually, we are going to have to transition to a proper economy backed by a real currency, not just caps popped off a Nuka-Cola bottle. And eventually, the economy will need to be more than just scavenging. There needs to be producers and producers of commodities. But while these good times last, it's my job to think of ways for the it's my job to think of ways for the Brotherhood to prosper, just as much as everyone else. My job... This sentence is weird. Like, ensure the Brotherhood prospers just as much as anyone else? Probably. Anyway, I'm guessing you didn't always study the economy. No, economics is new sciences to the Brotherhood of Steel. Although before I studied taxation, I did help the Brotherhood of Steel balance its books back at the Citadel, except those numbers didn't deal with caps, but rather bullets. I had to make sure the Brotherhood had enough ammo, armor, and other supplies, and then determine how long those supplies would last. I guess you could call that logistical work. It is. Nowadays, I hear knights are now having to keep track of that kind of stuff. Knights are now having, track of that kind of stuff. I pity those poor blockheads having to do math. Do you enjoy working at the academy? Oh, I keep my nose buried in the numbers. I don't really have time to admire the office. Still, it is hard to ignore how cozy it is here. Well, except for the faint yet lingering smell of supermutant. But then again, that smell might be from those sword and shield tight asses next door. They think they are so impressive with their fancy power armor and energy weapons, but I bet most of them couldn't count higher than 10. Later. Okay. Well, she's a peach, isn't she? Anyway. Moving to the onward direction where we talk to more people. Dowling. Hello, Field Marshal. I'm Journeyman Dowling, and I'm working on designing propaganda for the Brotherhood of Steel. Okay. I'm responsible for those fancy posters you're seeing plastered everywhere. What makes you interested in propaganda? I suppose I've always had a bit of an artistic streak. Well, at least compared to others in the Brotherhood. I'm also rather interested in psychology, in particular the psychological science of suggestion. Propaganda is an excellent pairing of those two interests. Are you able to study psychology here? Designing effective propaganda is my primary project here at the Academy. Although I try to find time for a side project of mine that I've been working on. Speaking of which, do you mind if I ask your opinion on mesmetrons? Are you familiar at all with the technology? I think it's a rather interesting piece of pre-war tech. So do I, Field Marshal. I think the slavers of Paradise Falls have given the mesmetron a rather bad name. Would you perhaps be interested in helping me explore its uses beyond that of slavery and subjugation? What exactly is this side project? It is a bit hard to explain. Let's just say it involves maximizing the mesmetron's effectiveness in the science of suggestion. Final help. Perfect. Please speak with me again inside the maintenance tunnels under the Academy. It was the only place I could find room for my research. This is truly exciting. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this. Dowling, what the fuck?
Hey.
Get a move on. I'm waiting for you. Whatever. It's a man. Oh, I totally ignored this. Greetings, Field Marshal. I am Scribe Blackwell, head agriculturalist here at the Academy. If you have time, there is something urgent I would like to speak with you about. You said there was something urgent? Yes, it has to do with our water supply. While my research on crop production is going well, there is little point to it if the Brotherhood doesn't have enough water. Even with Project Purdy, my calculations point to it being difficult to provide water for both the population's drinking supply and crop production. That's why the Brotherhood should look for more water reservoirs where Project Purity's technology can be put to use. The good news is I recovered another possible supply of water, the Montgomery County Reservoir. It's an abandoned water treatment plant. A young journeyman scribe volunteered to investigate, although I have not heard from him in some time. I never should have let him travel by himself, but he claimed he would draw less attention alone. I'm sure you understand what it's like to be an adventurous youth, so would you help me locate him? I'll see if I can find your journeyman and investigate the Montgomery County Reservoir. Thank you, Field Marshal. If Journeyman Kavanaugh is still alive, please help him start the water treatment plant. Good luck and stay safe. Tell me about your research. My research mainly pertains to agriculture. I am currently working on domesticating mutt fruit into what I call refined mutt fruit. I've heard rumors that tribals in Point Lookout were able to domesticate a crop known as punga fruit. If we can do the same with mutt fruit, it will add some much-needed food diversity to the average wastelander's diet. Plus, mutt fruit has a much easier time growing in the wasteland's rough soil compared to more traditional crops. Can you tell me about current food situation? Farming situation is rough, to say the least. Project Purity might be producing clean water, but good soil is so hard to come by in the wastes. Rivet City can grow proper crops like carrots and potatoes thanks to their hydroponic gardens, but most settlements are struggling to grow even maize, and if they do have a successful harvest, the nutritional value of their crop is negligible. Most people in the wastelands survive on a diet of meat, either from Brahmin or whatever game they kill, like mole rats or mirelurks. And then you have those that survive only off pre-war packaged food they scavenge from the ruins or of supermarkets. Supermarkets, not mutants. The fuck. Based on what I've studied, that stuff was barely edible before the bombs dropped. I don't know how they eat it. In short, the food situation could be better, and that is why I am working to improve it. Have you always studied agriculture? In some capacity or another, I have. I was a part of the team at Project Purity, and studied how the clean water could be used to improve farming in the wasteland. I worked at the memorial after we took it from the Enclave, so I never had the pleasure of meeting your father. Okay. From what I hear, he was a great man. I'm sure I could use his insights on my current research. Damn right you could, if he were here. Apprentice Blackwell. The Field Marshal. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Blackwell. Apprentice Blackwell these days. Perhaps you have met my daughter, Scribe Blackwell. I help her study farming at here at the academy. You seem a bit old to be an apprentice. That's a good pair of eyes you got there, Field Marshal. I used to be a paladin. Well, I guess I still got the title. Now I just have another one, apprentice. How did you go from being a paladin to being a scribe's apprentice? After having one last war with the Enclave, I realized I wasn't the young warrior I used to be. I figured it was time for a change in scenery. Usually, if you make it to my age in the Brotherhood, you are sent off by the High Elders to start a new chapter in some forgotten corner of the Wastes. But seeing as we haven't heard from Lost Hills for some time, I doubt I'll be getting the promotion. I had always been interested in the work of a scribe, and you know my daughter didn't only get her smarts from her scribe mother. My body might be degrading, but my mind is as sharp as ever. So I asked Elder Lyons if I could transfer, and he approved my new appointment. Now, should the Citadel ever need me, I'll put back on my rusty old suit of T-51B, but until then, I'll enjoy gardening with my daughter. You're an apprentice to your daughter. That's right. I didn't only put on these robes as a way to retire from the life of a paladin. When you get to be my age, you start realizing what's important in life and start thinking of how you want to spend the remainder of it. I spent most of my daughter's youth on the battlefield. When you're a paladin, you don't have the luxury of family time. Her mother did a good job raising her before she passed away. My daughter has her mother's wit as well as her eyes. But I've got some regrets as a father, and I'm lucky enough to make up for that lost time with my daughter. This is the best retirement I could ask for, even if I do have to walk around in these silly robes. Do you enjoy studying agriculture? I'm not going to lie to you and say I understand what half of this research is actually about. My daughter uses words like horticulture and photosynthesis, and I just nod along. Still, I'm enjoying gardening. It's relaxing to see a seedling grow little by little, day by day. And besides, if I ever miss my days as a soldier, I can always swap war stories with Paladin Joiner. Okay, cool. Goodbye. 30-second timer popped up in my face like halfway through those last couple lines, but we're okay. Maintenance. Oh my god, are you coming down here or what? Wait an hour. Where are you? Good fucking god. Waiting on NPCs to patrol into an area of where they don't spawn. Hey. The fuck are you up to? Oh shit. Hi. I can already tell you have many questions. So, I will be completely transparent. I just hope you will hear me out. What is it you're trying to do? Well, to put it simply, I believe a refined use of mesmetrons can serve as a more innovative means of dealing with the Brotherhood's enemies. We can use this psychotechnology on enemy prisoners, and through the power of suggestion, use the prisoners to destroy the enemy from within. The mentally conditioned prisoners are released, and they act unknowingly to both themselves and their comrades as agents of the Brotherhood. I was hoping of doing a test run using this Enclave prisoner. How did you get your hands on an Enclave prisoner? I might just be a journeyman scribe, but I have my connections at the Citadel. I know a few knights who are as devoted as I am in destroying the Enclave by any means necessary. Do others at the Academy know about this? No, but I'm guessing you already knew the answer to that, given I'm working in the maintenance tunnels. My research is experimental, to say the least. I want to make sure I have results before I make my research known. Is that man all right? He is in a medically induced coma, as of right now, but otherwise, he is completely unharmed. I haven't touched a hair on his body. I've only spent some time tinkering with his mind. Believe me, I have been much kinder to this Enclave prisoner than the Enclave is to Brotherhood prisoners. Okay, I don't have any more questions. I'm sure you have your reservations, but this may be the only way to completely eradicate the Enclave remnants. Once more, my research could save countless Brotherhood and civilian lives. With all that said, I'm hoping you might be interested in helping me with my research. Don't you think it is cruel to mind control someone? Cruel? I don't think one can be too cruel to the Enclave. I'm sure you are aware of how much damage the Enclave has done to the Wasteland. Even after they have been so utterly routed, there are still those that refuse to surrender. They now act no better than raiders. They attack caravans, settlements, whomever they can prey upon. I know the Enclave has killed your father. They murdered many of my loved ones. If we are ever going to rid the Wasteland of them, we need to explore every tactic possible, even the unorthodox. What do you need from me? I am sure you are aware the Brotherhood has given most of the Enclave, has driven most of the Enclave underground. Our biggest problem is finding where those rats have hidden. They have scuttered away into the many bunkers that dot the wasteland. They'll emerge, hit a patrol or caravan, then retreat back underground. Luckily, we captured one before he could run away. Through repeated yet careful mesmetron conditioning, the prisoner is now in a state to start taking suggestions. This is where you come in. You will give him orders on how to destroy whatever hole he is hiding in. No one knows better than you about what needs to be done to destroy Enclave bunkers. My knight friends will then drop him back off where they found him, and thanks to his conditioning, he will start acting on your commands. Okay, fine. You may begin issuing commands to the prisoner whenever you are ready. Good God. Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. Prisoner is in a conditioned state. Here is what you must do. What? What? Private Shaw, you're awake. How are you feeling, soldier? Nod head. What was that, soldier? If I ask you a question, I expect a verbal answer. Brother didn't knock you on the head too hard, did it? You can still speak, can't you? Feeling fine. That's good to hear, soldier. Found you out in the field near the bunker. Thought we had lost you during that last scuffle with the Brotherhood. Keep resting up. There's a Brotherhood patrol nearby, so we're going to keep our heads down until those fanatics move on. Once they're out of the area, we are going to hit one of their water caravans. Got it? Good. Corporal Atwater was also injured recently, so don't expect any Deathclaw support for some time. I don't feel comfortable taking that monster out without its handler. What the fuck? Yeah. And I don't have a Pip-Boy. Hey, Abner. So, you survived, Private. Good to know my medical skills aren't as lacking as I thought. Although I did explain to the captain I am not that kind of doctor. Ask about Armory? You should know better than to bother me about the Armory, Private Shaw. Go pester Gunnery Sergeant Broom. I have to make sure the roof of this bunker doesn't fall on our heads. But Deathclaw, I can feel that thing staring at me while I work. Atwater says it's domesticated. I mean, I've seen him feed it by hand. But if it is domesticated, why are the doors to its pens kept locked tight? I don't think it would take much to make that Deathclaw snap. How are the life support systems? Referring to a busted generator and a few rusted pipes as a life support system is very generous. You wouldn't have to break much before the system is overloaded and an explosion buries us all alive. But the captain has tasked me with keeping the lights and the air circulating. You know, back at Raven Rock, I studied fusion energy. Now look at me. Okay. Alright then. Oh. Hey buddy. How you doing? Using the right item, the voltage of this pillar could be increased, leading to the deadly electrocution of anyone who touched it. Okay. This console controls the bunker's primitive life support system. Loosening a few pipes and then overloading the system would easily destroy this whole bunker. Dr. Abner's keycard is needed to access the console.
Good to see you.
Cottondale, huh? A Nuka-Cola. Make a mixed drink with what?
Good to see you.
Oh, don't mind me, I'm just making a mixed drink. Whiskey and Coke. Hey you. Sergeant Broom. Look who's back amongst the living. How you feeling, Private? I heard you had a rat scorpion sting you in the head. I'm surprised anything could pierce that thick skull of yours. Sorry, it wasn't your turn to wear the power armor that day. Armory? So, you want to wear the power armor next patrol? I don't blame you. I wish we had more to go around. Shame you couldn't have calved the power armor of that knight we captured, but Corporal Atwater insisted his pet had practice opening tin cans. Anyhow, maybe if you were better at cards, you couldn't constantly be losing your turn to wear the suit. Bunker. Yeah, it's a bit hot in this bunker, ain't it? I asked Dr. Abner about turning down the temperature, but she acts like messing with one valve will put this whole place up in flames. And here I was thinking this was a fortified bunker, not a house of cards. Deathclaw? Ah, yes, Atwater's pet. Well, you were injured. The damn thing laid eggs. While you were injured, the damn thing laid eggs. I suggested we turn him into omelets, but Atwater said that would make the Deathclaw go into a frenzy. Maybe he's right, but I still want to know what scrambled death egg tastes like. Come on now, Private. You should know I never gamble without a whiskey and coke. Maybe another time, kid. Dude, I have your damn whiskey and coke. Here. Well, I didn't expect you to actually make me a whiskey and coke. I guess you really want that power armor, huh? Alright, I'm game for some blackjack. You win 100 chips from me, and the power armor's yours. Deal? If you lose all of your chips, then sorry kid, looks like that power armor is going to stay mine for a while. Deal. Stay. Bullshit. Kid. Fucking A. Here we go again. Gambling, Part 2. Electric Boogaloo. Do the max bet. All in, bitch. 17. 20. Stay. I win 25. Nice. Well, that was lucky. 19. Stay. Break even. Fuck. 21. That's a win. Good. Deal. Fuck. That's a bust. 13. Hit. 19. Okay. Break even. My God. I lose. Why? Why do I lose? I hate you. Deal. 21. I win. Yay. Fucking ass. Fucking ass. Break even. 17. Hit. 19. Oh my God. Couldn't be a little higher. Come on. Deal. 20. Stay. Losing. Fucking amen. 21. Winning. I win. That's it. Hi, I win the power armor sweepstakes, don't I? Need something? Armory keycard. You must have been playing blackjack in your dreams while you were passed out, because I don't remember you being this good at cards. But a deal is a deal. Looks like the power armor is all yours. Okay. Right. Vision battery, get that thing. A bunk bed. Medics. Induce a Medics overdose in order to take key to Deathclaw Pit? Yes. Okie dokie then. Hi, Price. Good to see you were up at it, Shaw. You're up at it, Shaw. I'm stuck on door duty right now. Building armor. A bit pitiful, isn't it? We only have one suit of power armor left, and it's such an old model. Between you and me, I'm not sure how much longer we will be able to keep this fight going. Especially when Baroom is just hoarding all of the best supplies for himself. Deathclaw? Still around, unfortunately. Atwater managed to convince the captain that the Deathclaw is the key to victory. It's true that monster is a killing machine, but that's the whole reason I can't relax around her. She's been extra ornery ever since she laid eggs. They're not even fertilized, but she's really protective of them. Atwater thinks he has this connection with her, and maybe that's why he has the keys to her pen. I know, I wouldn't want this job. I wouldn't want his job. Bunker. This bunker really makes you appreciate Raven Rock. At least back there, you didn't have to worry about the ceiling caving in. Well, until it did. I'm not sure how Dr. Abner keeps this place running. Okay. Good talk. Good talking to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Another poker chip or two. Equip PA and minigun. Private Shaw, what the hell are you doing? Who the hell gave you authorization to equip suit power armor? What do you think you're doing raising a minigun at your commanding officer? Open fire. The fuck?
Alright, I'm gonna go to the Bible college.
Just get the job done, you know? Just do it. It is done. Strange. Field Marshal, you have a message from Journeyman Dowling from the Vree Research Academy. She wanted to let you know she has an update regarding a research project you assisted her with. She would be grateful if you speak with her at the Academy when you have the chance. Thank you, Knight. You're dismissed. Field Marshal. Alright, get the fuck out of the chair. Jesus Christ. Okay. Put my stuff back on. Okay, everything is on there. Good fucking God, man. Playing as an Enclave soldier? Are you fucking kidding me? And I had to play freaking blackjack. Again. Investment? VRA funding proposal, Tesla Knights. Putting scribed folders, oh, that's right, into the hands of the Knight equipped with scribed Fraser's Tesla power armor would result in a lethal combination of Tesla technology. Hell yeah. So Knights can now be recruited. Okay, cool. Traditionalist, good. Okay. Okay, we're still pretty shabby on that. Alright, let's just go. Well, that was interesting to say the least. If a little harrowing. But I got the win condition, so it's like, yeah, we're fine. Ugh, man. Why isn't the food free, I wonder? Because funding? Okay. It is good to see you, Field Marshal. I have news regarding the results of the experiment. What were the results? A team of knights found an Enclave bunker near the site where we initially found the prisoner and had released him. Hold on. Team found everyone in the bunker dead. It seems the prisoner we sent in opened fire on his own comrades before turning his gun on himself. The instructions you gave him were simple, yet proved to be very effective. I've given it some thought, and I don't want you pursuing this kind of research. It's wrong. Where is it? And research seems promising. But Field Marshal, the results of the experiment were a success. The Enclave were destroyed. I guess I should know better than to argue with the Field Marshal. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to help a journeyman scribe with her research. You have my word. I won't pursue this technology any longer. Decreased with traditionalists. It doesn't fucking matter. Morality is more important. Good God, man. That said, I will be looking for more opportunities to improve my standing. Hello, Field Marshal. I'm the apprentice to Scribe Hornburn, and help with his history studies. Let me just say, I admire your efforts to rebuild this great nation, and I look forward to doing my part. How goes life? Goes as well as an apprentice might hope, but I'm hoping I might earn my journeyman robes soon. I've been working on a research proposal regarding the place of the Brotherhood in American history, but of course no one is interested. You'll find few scribes interested in history, much less history that pertains to the United States. But I think I might be able to change a few minds and reframe how most of the Brotherhood sees the United States. What is your research proposal? Most of the Brotherhood have a very negative perception of the United States. They see the United States as this decadent and corrupt state that caused the destruction of the world. And the war with the Enclave certainly has not helped either. But I think I can change all of that by connecting Founder Maxon to the United States. After all, before he was Elder of the Brotherhood of Steel, he was a captain in the U.S. military. U.S. Army, rather. Founder Maxon believed the United States was a nation worth fighting for, so why shouldn't the Brotherhood? I'm sure you have a lot on your plate already as Field Marshal, but perhaps you could consider helping me with this little patriotic project. Doesn't the history of the Brotherhood begin with Elder Maxon revolting against the U.S. Army? Yes, well, I am aware of what the official narrative is. but I think the events that occurred at Mariposa are up for debate. I personally believe Founder Maxon was revolting against West Tech and their unethical experiments, not the United States. But of course, if you can find evidence that supports that history, I suppose I would have to consider it. Alright, let's see what's right, I guess. Getting a drink prepared. Why is it so important to you that the Brotherhood have a positive image of the United States? Because I even thought the flag... Wait, hold on. Because even though the flag hasn't flown from the top of the Capitol building for 2 centuries, I still believe in the American dream. The American dream was always a lie, you idiot. And if we are going to rebuild the wasteland, I think it makes the most sense to follow the American model of democracy and liberty. I don't mean to sound like an Enclave Ibot, but I really believe there is much the Brotherhood could learn from the United States. I just need some more evidence for my research that proves Founder Maxon considered himself an American citizen. What sort of evidence do you need? I actually know already exactly what I need to complete my research proposal. See, I was digging through some of the old Pentagon files back when I was still working at the Citadel and found something very interesting. I saw that a certain Captain R. Maxon was being awarded a medal for bravery. I think that might be none other than First Elder Roger Maxon. Until the award ceremony, the medal was placed into an underground bunker beneath the Pentagon for storage. You see, the Pentagon was already moving their archives underground in preparation for the bombs falling. The only problem is that many of the bunkers underneath the Citadel are inaccessible due to the damage sustained to the tunnel network. The good news is an entrance to the tunnel network was recently discovered. I think it could lead right to the bunker where the metal is stored. If you can bring me that medal, I can complete my research proposal and prove that Maxon is a great American hero. Alright, I'll go look for it. That's fantastic. The entrance to the Pentagon tunnel network was found near the Vertibirds landing zone at the Citadel. I didn't see that. From what I hear, the tunnels are in bad shape, so you might have to do some exploring before you can find the bunker that houses the archives. And if you find anything else in the archives relating to the Founder Maxon, please let me know. The more research material, the better. Thank you so much, Field Marshal. I have a great feeling about this. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Hornburn. Welcome to the Academy, Field Marshal. I am Scribe Hornburn, Senior Historian for the Order of the Quill. What sort of history are you studying? My interest mainly lies in studying the first 100 years following the Great War. If we can learn how people survived during the early days of the apocalypse, it might help us finally pull ourselves out of this dark age. Settlements rose and fell very quickly during those days, so I spent much of my historical research in the field at various archaeological dig sites. Although, now that I am working here at the Academy, I don't have as much time as I did to go digging in the dirt. Since you are often out in the wasteland, perhaps you might be interested in helping me acquire some artifacts for my research. What do you need help with? Recently, I have been studying a nomadic group of people that entered the capital wasteland approximately 50 years after the fall of the bombs. Records about their existence are scarce. I only have a few oral stories here and there. Supposedly, they traded frequently with the early settlers of Megaton. I am not sure how long they were in the wasteland before they were either destroyed like so many others or moved on to other lands. While they resided in the wasteland, they left behind various shrines and burial sites. I was hoping you might be willing to dig up these sites and bring me whatever artifacts you find. Isn't it wrong to dig up burial sites? It has been well over a century since these burial sites were dug. Those who dug them are long gone. I don't believe they will mind. For the sake of knowledge, I think it will be all right to disturb a few graves. Okay, fine. I can help you find those artifacts. Thank you, Field Marshal. I am not sure where the burial sites are, but from what I know about the nomads, they mainly stuck to traveling major roads. So I would search near gas stations, drive-ins, and other spots alongside the highway. Gas stations, drive-ins, and other spots. Burial mounds should be easily recognizable. Hold on, I need to write this down. Order of quilt. Scribe Hornburn. Burial sites along roads, drive-ins, and gas stations. Burial mounds should be easily recognizable. They feature a wooden cross adorned by a Brahmin skull, along with a headstone marked by a red handprint. Pretty recognizable, yeah. Oh, and here, you will need a shovel, of course. Once you find an artifact, bring it back to me so I might study it. Okay. How are we on time here? Hour 27. Yeah, we could go a little more and talk to more people. That's a lot of books. A lot of books that are not very useful to anybody. Are those recycling machines or incinerators? I can't really tell. Hell if I know, man. Whoa. That is one big-ass book. Yes, can I help you? Can I get you something, a coffee maybe? Although I am very busy helping Scribe Pierce, there is much work to do here at the Academy. That's why I keep this list, the list of everything I have to do. I can put getting the Field Marshal a cup of coffee on my list if you would like. I'm always making coffee. Let's see, if I were to add fetching you coffee to the end of my list, I could get you that cup in 5 months. Is that too long to wait? What am I saying? I'm sorry, my mind is all over the place. Like I said, I have much to do. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Thank you for asking, but sometimes I just find my head is spinning faster than I can keep up. I may pop one too many mentats from time to time, but I'm fine, truly. Here's some fixer, no need to say anything, just take it. Field Marshal, Fixer is for addicts, and I'm not an addict. I just use Mentats to stay on the ball, you know? But maybe it's time to get off the ball, just for a little bit. I don't want to take your Fixer for free. Here are some books that we don't need. Library already has more than enough copies. You're the apprentice to Scribe Piers. That's right. I help scribe Piers while transcribing texts and preserving pre-war books. This work requires a lot of focus and patience and an incredibly fine attention to detail. Good water, good. It's water with stuff in it. But the end result is always worth it. For example, last week I just finished transcribing a 500-page volume on waste recycling and sewer management. And let me tell you, I just felt fantastic. You mentioned fetching coffee. Yes, Scribe Piers is always asking for more coffee, so I'm always brewing cups. To be honest, I'm not sure calling that stuff coffee is even accurate. It's some sort of pre-war synthetic beverage meant to imitate the caffeinating properties of real coffee beans. But it does keep me awake, so I guess it works. Not that I know what real coffee even tastes like. I can actually help with that, to a degree. Oh. Actual books, not fucking garbage. Anyway. Where is Piers? Where is Piers? Where is Piers? He's probably having dinner. How about we get everybody back to work? However I can. Blah 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 blah.
Good to see you.
Hey, Medina. Where is Piers? I am looking for Piers. God damn it. Oh, here's Piers. Welcome to the offices of the Order of the Quill. I have been charged with the transcription, translation, and preservation of pre-war text. If you need anything at all, please do not hesitate to ask my apprentice Medina. After all, she is an apprentice. That's what she is here for. Maybe I can help you transcribe some text? Really? Transcription work must be rather dull compared to your normal adventuring, but if you wish to help, I'll accept. In my workshop, you can find a large anthology book that is in such a poor condition that I don't think the book itself can be preserved. Nevertheless, there are still a few intact pages with legible passages that should be recorded for the archives. If you are up to it, you are welcome to try and transcribe those pages. I think the book was a collection of poetry, or maybe it was nursery rhymes. You can find the volume in the transcribing office. It's the room with shopping carts full of books. As I am sure you can tell, I have many texts that require my attention, so your help is appreciated. Can you tell me about what you're doing? I am in charge with transcribing, translating, and preserving the books that make their way into the Order's library. In short, I am the reason why Scribe Salt's collection of books looks as nice as it does. Looks as nice as they do, whatever. While my work certainly isn't exciting, I am fulfilling the historic duties of the Order of the Quill. Do you enjoy? As the only scribe in this building that is working on the original goal of the Order of the Quill, I take much pride in my work. Most of the books the other scribes rely on for their research were in poor condition until I got my hands on them. I've rebound spines, restored lost manuscripts, and even copied by hand entire texts into new volumes. It may be taxing and tiresome work, but I am keeping the traditions of the quill alive with every book. Do you help preserve texts for the other scribe orders? Oh yes, I am well accustomed to restoring pre-war schematics. Senior Scribe O'Gallagher frequently reaches out to me for assistance in transcribing power armor blueprints. Even Senior Scribe Vree has requested my services, and she is notorious for keeping weapon schematics within the Order of Sword. I'd say if it wasn't for my efforts, scribes would have to use only their imagination when coming up with new inventions. Are you aware your apprentice is addicted to mentats? Was I aware? No. Am I surprised? No, not really. Lord knows, when I was an apprentice, I would practically fill up a bowl with mentats and eat them like candy. Even now, I might occasionally pop a mentat tab if I have a particularly large workload. In fact, you'll find plenty of mentat users among the scribe orders. As long as Apprentice Medina keeps it under control, I see no reason to get involved. Okay. Cool. I helped her get it under control as much as I could. Okay, what are we doing?
Morning.
Most of this book's pages have been damaged beyond recovery, yet there are still few passages that are, at the very least, semi-legible. In order to preserve those passages, you must try to determine what the original text was and fill in the blanks left by the scars of time. There are 3 passages in total that should be transcribed. Seriously? Oh my god. Hickory. Dickory. Doc. The mouse ran up the clock. Oops. Clock. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Shakespeare. Once something a midnight dreary. While I ponder weak and weary. Weak and weary. Over many a quaint quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Yeah, these other characters are not in my memory right now. Once Upon a Midnight Dreary, I think it is. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I ponder in there, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Let's look it up. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary. I see. The Raven. That's right. Okay. Pondered, weak and weary, and making sure I'm getting it all correct. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Yep, that's working. Okay, cool. Number 3. Oh my god. Okay. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day, thou art more lovely, etc., etc. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day, thou art more lovely and more temperate. Oops. Temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Now, should the I in this be capitalized or not? I don't know, but we'll try. Yay. Yay, we did. Cool. Where are you? Where that bitch? There, that bitch. Hi. Is there something in here? Transcribed. Is that so? Well, I hope the life of a scribe wasn't too boring for you. I appreciate your assistance, Field Marshal. Here, why don't you have my old sidearm from my days as a field scribe? I certainly have no use for it anymore. Those adventuring days are long behind me. Alright, cool. The pen, you say. The pen. Uh-huh. Bonus damage versus low intelligence enemies? That's peculiar, to say the least. Whatever. Anyway. Combs. Got a guy across from you, or what's happening here? Because I already talked to you, right? Should have. That is, if you weren't at liberty to speak on your research. No, you're fine. I don't know who sits here, but I'm probably going to be waiting around to find out eventually. What's in here? Salt. Okay. We've already talked to Salt. Talk to Hurley. Bathrooms. Gotta throw open all the stall doors. Because we can. It's a force of habit. At this point in time. Yeah, I still don't know who sits across from Combs. Or if they'll ever be there again. Looks like an avid smoker. Not too sure exactly why. Appears. Oh, there's a higher floor. And an office. With big stacks of garbage in it. Well, not an office, but whatever, you get the idea. My book now. Yes, I am stealing books from the Brotherhood of Steel to give back to the Brotherhood of Steel. It is a hobby of mine. It's just a bit of harmless fun and experience in these trying times without a lot much more experience to get. Johnny Guitar. My isn't a whole lot in here, is there? All the women me. Whacking and smacking, whacking, whacking and smacking, and whacking, whacking, smacking. Oh, when to stop. Watch your wise, is me chop. What is it, buddy? Having a good time? I'm having a good time. Should be staying indoors. It's getting late, so he's probably not too thrilled about that idea. But, you know, we gotta keep him safe somehow. Meat. Chop that meat. You gotta chop that meat. Right, and I should keep those open so I know I've been in them. Good God. Hell's wrong with me? So random sometimes, man. Fucking annoying. So anyway, I went with this YouTube broadcast because it I don't know. It doesn't have any of the default, like, radio chatter that annoys me so much after a while with in-game radio. It has some actually original announcer lines, so it's interesting. I'll give it that. Alright, what the hell? There ain't no one else. Oh, hey, Joiner. I wasn't aware... Oh, well, actually, I was aware. I was made aware of that. Made aware of your presence previously. So. Okay, why is there an empty office across from you? Confused. Hello, homie. You stream pretty cool. Okay. Feel entertained. That's why I followed you. I would love to make friends and be part of your followers. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Cool. I'm about ready for a break, so yeah, I can do that now. So, and I'm looking for one more of these scribe characters, but it's not happening. I'm not sure why. Because there's a suspiciously empty office. Delling is there, Hornburn is there, I've talked to them. Hurley's there. Right. And Combs, I think, was sitting here. And he's kind of the art guy. And then there's this office, and I don't really know. Anyway, so let's see. How far in? Oh, we're at 1:52, so I should probably be stopping this VOD and starting the next. Alright, time for my spiel. I am LifeSeeker128 on both YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, go see my YouTube. I've got all the VODs there. If you're watching YouTube, then go see me live on Twitch. I'm probably streaming right now. If it is not the morning and I am not working on homework, which I was earlier today. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow my channels for more of this kind of thing. And I will be playing much more Fallout: A Tale of Two Wastelands as I dive into the actual New Vegas section of the playthrough. Anyway, obviously more to come.